What's up, it's your boy DW bringing you tech, gadget, product reviews, and more. Today we're going to take a look at what might be considered the best budget beginner electric skateboard of 2018. What? The WowGo 2S. Electric skateboards. You might have seen one or two or even quite a few recently in your neighborhood. With the popularity of boosted boards made by famous YouTubers like Casey Neistat, the industry has really taken off. A lot of new companies are emerging from around the world to capitalize on the bandwagon. There are quite a few from China right now who are building competitive e-boards at a much discounted price. Today we're going to take a look at one of them. It is the WowGo 2S. Now this is not an unboxing video or initial impressions video. I had the board for over 2 months and I thoroughly wanted to test out everything before giving you this complete review. Here you can take a look at the full board. You can tell this is the front of the board by the W logo. And as the grip tape goes all the way to the back over here, this is the back section, and you can see that the grip tape actually gets more aggressive. There's two sections over here. I think the reason for this more aggressive grip tape is to give you more stability as you guys are accelerating or going top speed, or even for braking, right? So this way your foot won't slide off easily. In the middle over here, or a little bit slightly towards the left of the middle, we have this cutout over here that you can actually grip and hold on to and carry your board on the side. All right, let's turn it over and take a look in the back. Okay, we got two enclosures in the back. This one over here is where the battery is stored, and the charging port is right over here. You have to remove this rubber flap over here, and you can charge it. It takes around an hour and a half to charge it from 0 to max, depending on the size of the battery. On this side, we have the enclosure for the ESC. Controls the hub motors over here. You can see the cables running through it. And a note about these enclosures, I think it's been tested to be waterproof, or no, not fully waterproof, but splash proof, where they pour some water on it and it seems to be working fine. I haven't really tested thoroughly, although I did go over some small puddles on the road, and that's fine. It's still, everything's working properly. These we got 90 millimeter wheels over here, polyurethane wheels, and they've been holding up pretty well. I've been riding this for over 2 months and not many scratches, not much dents to it. I know it's kind of dirty right now because I've been riding, but once you wipe it off, it looks almost new. At first I had a fear that I'm gonna have to replace these after a few months, but it seems pretty strong and holding up, and I think it's gonna probably last a good amount of time before changing. The trucks that came with it is actually these trucks in the back over here. You can see they're thicker. They're seems more heavy duty, but it might just be the weight. I did change my trucks, so you can see that they are Paris trucks over here, just to give a little bit more comfort and to make it a little bit easier to carve. The bushings are replaced with the Paris bushings that came with the Paris trucks. The initial bushings were green, which I don't have here on display, but they're okay. The bearings over here, the bearings are Zealous bearings. They're supposed to be an upgrade from their previous design. All right, so let's talk about hub motors for a second. These hub motors do have regenerative braking. That means if you're going downhill and you're braking, it should generate some power or energy back to the battery. As far as I'm concerned, it's very minimal and it doesn't really affect it too much, but it's a nice fancy term to have. One positive about hub motors is low maintenance. There's no belts to change. Everything's inside in this hub over here. But if anything happens and it do break, you do need to replace the entire hub motor instead of just belts found in other types of belt-driven boards. Really have no issues with these motors so far, so no problems I can foresee. And because this board is so inexpensive, I can easily buy a replacement and be okay with that. An additional added benefit of hub motors is that if the battery do get depleted, you can still ride it like a regular skateboard and push off it and ride it home. Whereas belt drive, I hear, is a little bit more difficult to push or kick with it, and you might have to carry it instead. All right, I'm gonna get my remote and just show you how the motors and wheels spin. First, let me just turn it on for a second. So you hold on to this G button, and this is the power switch over here. Just hold it for a couple seconds and it should pair up. So I'll start with the beginner mode. Just pull this out of grass a little bit, if possible. You can hear that. Okay, let's go to the medium mode. Now I'll get closer so you can hear it. And let's go to the last and pro mode. Okay, a note about the batteries over here. You can actually choose from 3 different batteries. I got the medium one. The first one is a Samsung battery that goes 10 to 12 miles range. I got the LG one, which is 12 to 14. And there's a the super battery, the Sanyo battery, goes from 15 to 18. So everything depends on your budget and price point you want to pay for it. So I opt out for the medium battery just because I found it's a good value between price and range. The board overall is built pretty solid, but there is a few things that could be improved on. These screws over here just sticking out. Doesn't look too clean or professional. You can see it all around here. The screws tend to be quite long. And on the other side over here, some of these screws are just not even. Some of them stick out a little bit more or goes in deeper than the other ones. You can see this one over here is popping out quite a bit. I can try to fix them, but by screwing it tighter, but it's really, I think, their job to do so. But other than that, it doesn't really affect its performance. It's pretty solid and it rides very smoothly. All right, let's take a look at the remote control. This is the remote over here. We have a similar design to the boosted board. I think pretty much they just try to clone it as best they can because they know that's probably the best remote out there. This is a little smaller version. We've got the G button over here, acts as a power button. You hold it down for around 2 to 3 seconds. It'll turn on the remote. And when it's on, like right now, you can just press it and it shows the battery indicator. So there's 4 bars of battery. I'm down to 3 bars, around 75%. The Wi-Fi signal over here is a solid red dot. That means I'm connected to the board. And this over here, this lower button just changes the speed mode of the board. So the way you tell the speed mode is when by the speed the light is going up. So click it once. That's the fast mode. I'll start from the beginning. So this is slow mode or beginner mode. This is the medium mode, and one more time. This is the fastest pro mode over here. Only 3 modes to choose from, but I think that's plenty enough. On the side over here, the top part is to go forward. If you push this down over here, you actually accelerate to go backwards. So you have an option over here. So I mainly leave it on going forward. I rarely go reverse. Over here, same thing like the boosted. You push it up to accelerate. I don't want to do it right now just because the wheels might go, but let me turn off first. Again, turn off, just hold down this button for a few seconds. All the lights goes off. It's fine. To go accelerate, just push it forward. And there's a little tension in there, and it's a nice tension, and that you don't accidentally push it all the way to the max right away. So you push it forward, and I would gradually push it forward if this is your first few times riding the board. And you can pull it back for braking. So it's all about the pressure you put into it and the speed you push in if you want a gradual or faster acceleration or braking. And it's a nice, comfortable remote. Fits in the hand nicely. Both righties and lefties, it should be fine over here. All right, this is the back of it. All right, there's the charging port over here. They do recommend you charge it at a with a low amp charger. I think they recommend charging using maybe your computer or laptop USB charger. All right, got some background music in the back. Here's a nice little strap around your wrist so you don't lose your remote. Let's do the notable flex test. The deck is made out of 7 layers of maple and 1 layer of bamboo. It provides a nice flex, very comparable to boosted boards and other similar boards. This will definitely absorb some shocks and give you a more smooth and comfortable ride. Let's take a look at a few ways you can carry the board. You can carry it with the handle, and the weight distribution seems pretty good. It hasn't shifted too far to one side or the other, and it's fairly comfortable for a short duration. You can also carry it by lifting the side. This is not as comfortable as it seems, and I do not recommend carrying it this way. But my favorite way to carry it around is actually taking it and rolling it like a luggage, holding onto one end and dragging the other end on the floor. And this is my preferred method. Let's talk about performance. The acceleration and braking is super smooth, super smooth. It's a slow, steady incline in speed. There's no jerkiness to it. It's not going to throw you off the board. It's not a quick accelerate. It's actually a nice curve they put on the ESC over here. Very, very gentle. And it's a pro and con. For people new into the e-boards or starting out, beginners, you're going to love this feature. It's going to transition you pretty well. You're not going to get that quick force that's going to pull the board underneath you and just fly off, right? So you're gonna feel pretty comfortable getting into it. In the same way, it's a con if you do want that more aggressive acceleration to get that nice 0 to 20 in like 10 seconds or so. This board is not as fast or speedy as the other ones out there. So you can pick and choose, but if you definitely want that acceleration speed, you might want to look into other boards or that's a little bit faster off the start. The braking the same, it's a smooth curve. As long as you don't slam the brake button, you're not gonna fly forward on the board over here. Just give it a nice smooth, just test it out quite a bit until you get used to it. But overall, I find the braking very smooth and it'll get me to stop when I need to stop. The braking distance might be a little bit longer than other types of boards like belt drive driven boards, just because those boards tend to brake kind of hard. Again, there's a pro and con onto it. If you want that smooth braking, which I prefer just because safety is more of a concern for me, then I would choose this board and this type of style. The top speed of the board is advertised at 23 miles per hour. So let's take it out and give it a test. We got this straight flat path ahead of us, so we're going to try to do a speed test and see how fast this guy can go. At the same time, we'll try to get my watch to cooperate with us and try to record the speed if possible. I'll try my best, so we'll see what happens. 1, 2, 3. Right now 22.1, 22.2, 22.4. All right, we're coming to the end. We got to stop right here. All right, did use a different app to track it at the same time, so let's see if this thing actually tells me how fast we're going. Okay, I wonder if you can see this. I'm gonna try to zoom in. So I'm using the Strava app to track actually that run over there and see how fast I was going. And you can see over here the max speed was 24.4, so it's pretty close to what we're getting on my watch. Right, so we average it out, it's around 23. This is a hill in my neighborhood. It's around 15% gradient. So we're going to test out this WowGo and see how fast or how slow we climb up this hill over here. There we go. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Take a look back down. And that's where we came up from. All right, so does hills just fine. So let's talk about what I like about the board and what I don't like about the board. The first major concern I have when purchasing an electric skateboard is safety. Right? Am I going to be comfortable and safe on the board? For this board, no problem. It checks the box. What I love is the acceleration curve and also the braking curve. That is nice and smooth. It's not abrupt. Right? When I accelerate, it's not too jerky. The board's not gonna fly underneath my feet. And when I brake, it's not too sharp where I'm gonna fly forward and hit and slam my face on the ground. Another thing is the connection between the remote control and the board. So far, over 2 months of riding, 0 disconnects, no disconnects, and I'm really satisfied because I did hear people lose connection with the board and they had to bail out or fly off. I like the design of the remote. I know it is a boosted clone remote, but it worked. It probably has the best design out there, the boosted boards, and this one makes a pretty good copy of that type of remote control. It's in your hand, extremely comfortable. And everything's very simple, just one main throttle or trigger, push up to accelerate and pull back to brake, and it just works. It's a good, consistent remote control, and it won't give you any disconnects. I think the speed and range for this board is very good. You can hit top speed around 23 miles an hour. I think that's the same as the boosted board, or maybe 1 mile difference. So you're getting the same top speed performance. The second is the range. The range for my board is 12 to 14 miles. I'm consistently getting 12 miles range on just regular riding. If I'm being more aggressive, it's going to come down to around 10 miles, but the flexibility is there. Right, compared to the major brands, if you want that same range, you're going to have to put out a few $100 extra just to get an extended battery or an extra battery. And even for this board, if you do want more than around 14-mile range, you can always upgrade to the super battery, the Sanyo battery that'll give you around 15 to 18 miles, and that costs around $160 more. And the biggest positive of this board is the price. You can't beat this price. I bought this board with the medium battery and it costs around $460, $470-ish. The price, I believe, hasn't changed that much from the website. The price is amazing. It's 1/3 the price of the major brand. So you are getting same or similar performance, top speed, probably better range, a good remote, and a solid board for 1/3 the price. All right, of course, the quality could be slightly better, but so far, it's not really affecting the safety of the ride. At this price, if it does break, I can just easily buy another board and still spend less than the premium brand. Let's talk about some negatives, and some of these are minor, and some of them I'm just nitpicking a little bit. With concerns to the build quality, it's pretty sturdy, it's robust, it's good, but a little minor details with the screws sticking out here and there. Another one is the trucks. It could be better. You can't turn as sharply as you want to, right? In crowded situations and you need to zigzag across people or just making that sharp turn, you're not gonna be able to do with these types of trucks. So what I did was I bought Paris V2 trucks and it cost around 50 bucks. And I've been turning and carving much more easily after the upgrade. The board can get you up hills, but you are gonna have a decline in power and speed going up the hill. Also, if you wanna stop on a hill or stop at a slope, you're not gonna come to a complete stop. Gravity's gonna take place and your board will still roll down slowly. So an easy fix is actually what I do is when I come to a stop or close to a stop, I just step off the board. I'll wait until I need to go again, step back on, and I'm on my way. The last thing I want to mention is battery sag. So battery sag happens when your battery is around 50% or less. And what it does is your acceleration becomes compromised. You're not going to have the torque, you're not going to have the acceleration as you had before. And that's mainly due to the battery type that I received. It's the LG battery and it's known for having battery sag. If you do upgrade to the Sanyo battery, it's less prone to battery sag. You might have better performance there, but the price is slightly higher. So with all that said, do I like the board? Do I recommend the board? Heck yes, I do. This board is enjoyable, it is fun, and when I get off my board, I think about when's the next time I can get back on and ride again. And for the price, it's unbeatable. So if you're looking for a board, especially if this is your first board you're looking at, or if you're a beginner, definitely check out WowGo 2S. I think you guys would definitely enjoy the board and have a great fun time riding out. If you guys have any experience with the board, I would love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment below or any questions you might have, and I'll be sure to get back at you. If you enjoyed the video, click on the like button below, and if you want to see more videos just like this one, click on the subscribe button. Until next time, take care and be safe.